around so that Iraq wasn't the issue. It's whether John Kerry got shot enough times in Vietnam. And that was more important than the fact that Bush and Cheney and the underlings right under Rumsfeld and a lot of the pro-war people like Condoleezza Rice, too, and Karl Rove and Rush Limbaugh, Newt Gingrich, Bill O'Reilly, Tom DeLay, none of them ever served in the military. Whole war is being run by a bunch of chicken hawks and all. And the teleprompter story, that would have been an important one too, but they sat on it to make sure they rigged the election. Can you imagine what a scandal would have been if they caught Kerry with one of those things under his cape or whatever, or Karl Rove actually hacked into it so Kerry's asked the question about national security and starts singing the songs from the South Park movie. Then you have Cheney, the Cartman of Washington. You know, just waiting to see all the oil wells and refineries come out his ass, and they even gave him a free pass in the vice president debate. They put the two guys behind desks instead of having him stand up so that the viewers wouldn't see how fat Cheney is. Ever seen a body shot of Cheney? He's huge. He's totally obese. No wonder his ticker keeps threatening to give out. God, I wish it would. But they just let him get away with that too. Were they afraid he'd take them hunting? And what about that story, too? A friend of mine who was following that, who was my recording engineer, who grew up in a hunting family in Wisconsin and knows his guns and ammo, he said, hey, wait a minute. The wounds on that guy's face were so big, he had to have been shot at much closer range than they're claiming he was. Which makes you wonder if the most powerful man in the world can't even tell the difference between his old friend in an orange hunting vest and a factory-farmed wingless quail somewhere on the ground. How drunk was he? Free ride every time. Bush even got a free ride after stealing the 2004 election. He goes over to Iraq for a nice feel-good photo op. Remember that once serving turkey to the troops? Remember he's holding this turkey with that smirk on his face and some troops in the background for the photo op, and none of them bothered to point out that what they all knew, it wasn't a real turkey. It was rubber. What kind of a support our troops gesture is that?
Here you go, you can look at delicious one. It's not even real. You just get your shower rations as always. Happy Thanksgiving, hot terror, defend freedom. Don't live for Texas. Bye!
Every time, as Aaron Magruder, who draws that comic strip The Boondocks, puts it, the press knows he's staggeringly dim-witted. And everyone just pretends he's not. It's like the presidency has become the Special Olympics, and everyone wants to give him an award just for trying. But he never even went to Europe before his life, before he started running for president. And even said that he has no memory of Vietnam being discussed on campus the whole time he was at Yale. Again, how drunk was he? Still treating the White House as one big kegger party or something. And I'm still haunted by this vision I have of him from time to time. He even keeps me awake at night, and here he is running around in the White House lawn and loose on the grounds of Camp David, shirt pulled up over his head like a certain cartoon character.
I'm Ray Marholio! I'm Ray Marholio! I am having an accident question for my bum hole!
He brags that he doesn't read newspapers.
I'm glancing at the headlines, just a kind of a flavor for what's moving. I rarely read the stories and get briefed by people who are probably read the news themselves.
That's pretty ignorant. But then he was asked towards the end of his first term, well, what was the biggest mistake you made during your presidency?
Well, I can't think of a single one.
Never wrong. But then he's asked this year by a German tabloid daily called Der Bild what he thought the best moment of his presidency was.
Well, I was saying the best moment was when I caught a 7.5-pound largemouth bass on my leg.
That's
it.
If you think he's any smarter after September 11th, '01, think again. This is from this year, right when Harper got in and he and Vicente Fox and Bush all met in Cancun to powwow with each other. And Bush comes out and proclaims,
border relations between Canada and Mexico have never been better.
talked about our
Enjoying friendship with Japan for the last 150 years.
He thinks it's funny. He thinks his stupidity is funny.
Nobody needs to tell me what I believe, but I do need somebody to tell me where Kosovo is.
And then there's those nicknames he gives people. You know about those frat boy nicknames where he's named Vladimir Putin Pooty Poot. Notice U.S. relations with Russia have been going down and down, too. Condoleezza Rice is called Guru. Genie is called Big Time. Karl Rove is nicknamed Turd Blossom. Casually dismisses environmentalists as green lima beans. And guess what his nickname for John McCain is? Hogan. Hogan. Yeah, think about it.
Yeah, you were in a North Vietnamese prison camp for 7 years, being tortured in horrible ways, weren't you? Well, that's kind of funny, kind of like Hogan's Heroes. I know all about that.
Hogan!
Get it? Do-do-do-do!